Senator JD Vance of Ohio, who has also been watching that debate. Jake was just talking about what it means when a candidate comes in.
Let's visit a jaw-dropping moment that went down live on CNN when JD Vance, the powerhouse senator from Ohio, absolutely flipped the script on Kaitlan Collins. Now, for those of you who missed it, let me set the stage for you. CNN had this whole setup where they thought they could box JD Vance into a corner, but they had no idea what was coming next. What was supposed to be a simple interview turned into one of the most epic moments in political media clashes. Kaitlan thought she could trip him up, but JD turned the tables in a way that has social media buzzing and everyone talking.
Look, I think with President Trump, it's not a sign of either, frankly. I do think that he had a great debate. We could sort of hear the background noise here.
It all started with Kaitlan Collins trying to play her usual role, the woke media darling trying to score points with the left by using every opportunity to attack Republicans. This time, she zeroed in on JD Vance, hoping to get him on the defensive. Her first question, a loaded one about the controversy surrounding President Trump's attorneys, suggesting that Trump's legal team was arguing that the president could order a military coup and escape prosecution. Classic media tactic, right? Push a headline, twist the truth, and stir up chaos. But JD wasn't having any of it. He calmly replied, "Look, Kaitlan, we have to be careful here about imputing words into what the president's attorneys actually said. The checks and balances system in our Constitution is clear, and it's not what you're making it out to be." Boom. Right out the gate, JD shuts her down with facts. But Kaitlan, determined to press on, pushes further, asking if he believes presidents are above the law. She's fishing, hoping for some sensational response that'll keep the drama rolling. And JD, like the pro he is, pivots hard. He talks about the Constitution, the checks and balances, and how the impeachment system already handles these kinds of situations. He's not getting caught in the media trap. He's focused on the real issues.
We could sort of hear the background noise here. But look, I think with President Trump, he had to be sort of...
Now, this is where Kaitlan starts to realize that she's not getting the answers she expected. JD is too slick, too sharp. When she tries to keep pushing about the coup narrative, JD flips the script once again. He points out that no, Trump didn't order a coup on January 6th. Instead of playing into her narrative, he asks a simple question. What would the standard be for prosecuting a president for their official actions? He then gives a real-world example, hitting Kaitlan where it hurts. Should Obama have been prosecuted for ordering a drone strike that killed an American citizen? Oof, now we're getting into the deep waters, where the media doesn't want to go. This isn't just about Trump. It's about holding all presidents accountable, no matter the party. JD's response forces Kaitlan to stop in her tracks. She can't counter the logic. And while she stumbles, JD continues laying down the law.
Do you believe that Putin is a war criminal? He's responsible for the deaths of thousands of Ukrainian men and women and
I think it's something that
children.
should not be discussed now.
Kaitlan, clearly rattled, tries to get back on track, asking about a signal leak and the president's actions. But JD, ever the tactician, turns the question back on her. He asks why CNN, yes, CNN, has a history of mistreating veterans. He brings up the defamation lawsuit CNN lost to the tune of $5 million for defaming a veteran. And just like that, the conversation pivots from Trump's legal issues to the real issue at hand. How the media, including CNN, has treated the very people who've sacrificed for this country.
This is a really important point, Kaitlan. Who is the number 3 person from the Biden Department of Justice who went to...
Boom. JD drops the mic. While Kaitlan tries to sidestep, it's clear that JD has the upper hand. Answer my question, Kaitlan, he says, calling her out for refusing to address CNN's shameful treatment of veterans. The tension in the air is palpable. Kaitlan has nowhere to hide now. She can't dodge the question. She's been exposed. And in the court of public opinion, JD Vance just won this round. After the interview airs, the internet explodes. People are talking about JD's epic takedown of Kaitlan Collins and CNN's hypocrisy. Tweets, memes, TikToks, Social media can't get enough of JD's calm but calculated destruction of Kaitlan's narrative. The $5 million lawsuit against CNN resurfaces, and suddenly the left's favourite news outlet is in the hot seat. People start to realise that Kaitlan wasn't really asking about veterans or Trump's legal battles. She was just trying to set up another hit piece on a Republican, and JD wasn't having it.
The background noise here. But look, I think with President Trump, he had to be sort of talked out of coming to the spin room after the first debate because he really wanted to. And my guess is that he really wanted to come then. He really wanted to come now. This time it worked out. And look, he loves to talk to reporters because he loves to talk to the American people. And I think it's been a consistent theme of his campaign is going anywhere, going into hostile or friendly media, talking to people, answering questions, and trying to make his case. He's going to keep on doing that, whatever the format.
JD's stance on veterans, his defense of Trump's legal rights, and his bold response to CNN's gotcha questions resonate with people across the political spectrum. His calm demeanor in the face of Kaitlan's heated questioning shows true leadership. He doesn't get rattled, he gets results. And now, with this interview, JD Vance has solidified himself as one of the most important conservative voices in America.
Look, Kaitlan, I think we have to be careful about imputing words into the president's attorneys that they didn't actually say. What the president's attorney said is that...
But the real fallout is just beginning. Kaitlan Collins may have thought she was going to expose JD, but instead, she's the one who's been exposed. CNN's reputation takes a major hit, especially as people start to ask why their coverage of veterans and their issues seems so slanted. As JD points out, the network has a long history of mistreating veterans, and now the public is waking up to it. The media may have tried to take down JD, but in the process, they've made themselves the target.
Ask ourselves, what has the globalist economy gotten the United States of America? And the answer is fundamentally it's based...
And let's not forget the other issue here. How will Kaitlan Collins recover from this? She went into this interview thinking she could land a big punch, but instead, she ended up getting schooled by JD Vance. How does she bounce back from this humiliation? Will she start questioning her approach to interviews? Or will she double down on her tactics, knowing that her bias was fully exposed? So, what happens next? Does JD Vance continue to rise in popularity as one of the most influential voices in the Republican Party? Or will CNN and the rest of the woke media push back harder, trying to reframe this as a loss for JD? One thing's for sure, JD has the momentum right now, and he's not letting go.
Tens of millions of people who were watching. Why push something that's not true?
Now, as for CNN, they have a lot to answer for. With this interview, they've once again proven that they care more about sensationalism than they do about the truth. Will they adjust their approach, or will they keep fighting a losing battle? JD's takedown of Kaitlan is part of a larger trend we're seeing in American media right now. The media is being exposed for its bias, its hypocrisy, and its obsession with political narratives over the real issues that matter to everyday Americans. JD Vance, with his no-nonsense approach, has shown that the conservative movement isn't afraid to fight back, and fight back hard.
And uncover this stuff for themselves when you have a lot of people saying, my pets are being abducted, or geese at the city.
And the question remains, how will the media react when more conservatives take a stand like JD? Will they change their approach? Or will they double down on their political agendas? One thing's for sure, the future of American media is up for grabs, and JD Vance just threw a grenade into the debate.
Wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme about cats. And that speaks to the media's...
So here's the big question, folks. Did JD Vance handle this CNN interview like a champ, or was he just lucky? Do you think the media, especially CNN, should be held accountable for their bias and their treatment of veterans? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm dying to hear your opinions on this wild moment. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next explosive breakdown. Trust me, this story is far from over. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and stay strong. The media may have met its match in JD Vance,